With many great sportsmen, where they go, controversy follows. Think of the likes of Mike Tyson in the world of boxing, or Diego Maradona in the world of football. In rugby circles, players have been no stranger to controversy in the past either, such as with the Israel Folau fiasco. The mark of a great sportsman who has faced controversy, however, is to put to bed all the negative remarks surrounding their actions by showing the strength of both their character moving forward and their performances on the field. Few have done this better than one of Argentina's favorite rugby sons, Pablo Matera. Having recently been selected in the World Rugby Dream Team of the Year, Matera seems a far cry away from the criticism that followed him in 2020. At the time, he was already seen as a great rugby player, but since then he has gone on to become a rugby icon for Los Pumas. But that did not happen overnight. It was the culmination of years of hard work. So join us as we take a look at the journey of the Argentinian flanker and show you why he is considered to be amongst the best in the world. But before we do that, we ask that you like the video, subscribe to our channel, and tell us what you think about Pablo Matera. With your help, we can keep bringing you great rugby content. Born in Buenos Aires, Pablo Matera would attend St. Catherine's Moreland School. At the 2007 World Cup, Argentina punched well above their weight to prove that they deserved to be amongst rugby's elite. Despite all the odds stacked against them, Argentina defeated the hosts France in the opening game. Then they beat a highly touted Brian O'Driscoll-inspired Irish side in the group stage and Scotland in the quarterfinals. A loss to the Springboks in the semis meant that Argentina would once again face the French. In the battle for bronze, Los Pumas did their country proud, taking home a podium finish with a 34 points to 10 victory over the hosts. Unbeknown to anyone at the time was that this incredible team were being watched by a future Argentinian captain. Sitting at home, filled with inspiration, was a 14-year-old Pablo Matera, who had now firmly fell in love with the game of rugby. Following the success of the 2007 campaign, the young Matera took the decision to join Alumni, a local rugby club. After a few years in their ranks, he would be scouted for international under-20 duty. After an impressive showing at the Under-20 World Cup, Matera would represent the Pampas 15 and for a brief period the Leicester Tigers. At the time, he was very young and struggled to adapt to life in the United Kingdom. While the move to England may not have gone as planned, his career was taking off in the right direction. During the same time, Matera would make his debut for Argentina in a South American showdown against Chile. He would represent on 11 occasions in his debut year and look to solidify his spot in a side filled with many great loose forwards. Following an impressive debut campaign, Pablo only managed 2 appearances in 2014. He did, however, prove his worth enough to be part of the 2015 Rugby World Cup squad. Admittedly, Matera stated that he felt a bit starstruck in his early years of international rugby. He would come up against many of his role models such as Richie McCaw and Dan Carter, players who, in his own words, he had seen on his PlayStation. The thought never crossed his mind that one day he would be doing battle against them. Argentina would place 4th in 2015, and Matera showed that he belonged in the starting lineup. Following the World Cup, he would return to Argentina, as the Jaguares had been added to Super Rugby. Finally, he could face strong competition week in, week out on the domestic front, and he improved his game drastically throughout this period. Now, Matera was one of the first names on the team sheet, and yet another outstanding Argentinian loose forward to carry forward the team. Very similar to that of his predecessor, Juan Martin Fernandez Lob, Matera was soon identified as a leader in the team. The Jaguares proved to be a force to be reckoned with, and this had a great impact on the national side as well. With team chemistry being built on the domestic front, Los Pumas were not challenging the likes of the Wallabies, All Blacks and Springboks in the Rugby Championship, and the man who was often leading the charge at this point was Pablo Matera. Once again at the 2019 World Cup, he would be seen as an integral member of the side. However, they were drawn in the group of death and could not fight their way out. Disappointed by this setback, Argentina regrouped once more. Although Matera would soon find himself moving on to new pastures with Stade Francais to play his domestic rugby, his standing in the national side never wavered. At this point, he had amassed over 50 caps for Los Pumas and was regularly given the captaincy duties to lead his country. Things would go from bad to worse following the disappointing 20 2019 group stage exit, as Pablo Matera's past came back to bite him. The leader of Los Pumas had made some out-of-pocket comments on social media during the early stages of his career, and this would be thrust into the limelight. But despite his image being somewhat tarnished in the public eye for the time being, he continued to put in marvelous performances as he led Argentina to a first ever victory over the All Blacks. Apologies were made, and he could now get on with doing what he does best, and that is playing rugby. Matera is the complete loose forward, able to carry strongly in the tackle and showcases an attacking ability. He is a line-out option. He tackles aggressively and has an incredibly high work rate. He's incredibly skillful for a forward and keeps up with the backs to always provide a linking option. As the 2 years have rolled on, he has continued to improve and grow in stature. Standing at 1.92 meters tall and weighing in at 111 kilograms, he is certainly a hard man to stop and not one that players look forward to running into. Despite his size, he possesses great speed and acceleration. 2022 would prove to be a special one for Pablo Matera, as he was recognized for his performances by being selected for the second ever World Rugby Dream Team. He had taken a big gamble that year to play his rugby in New Zealand for the Crusaders and show that he is a player who, no matter how great he is, wants to learn more and develop into an even better one. Argentina went on to beat the All Blacks away for the first time ever and narrowly defeated England by 1 point at Twickenham. With the 2023 World Cup right around the corner, it seemed that Matera was peaking at the right time. The World Cup got off to a shaky start for Los Pumas as England comfortably put them away thanks to a George Ford masterclass. However, despite their initial poor performances, they would rally together, adamant to improve on their disappointing 2019 showing. As was the case for the 2007 team that inspired a young Pablo, Los Pumas would bow out in the semi-finals. Once again, they would take on the English and lose out on a podium finish. But there were some positives to take from the tournament. Let us know below what your favourite moment of the 2023 World Cup was. The start of this year saw a change in management for Los Pumas, as former stalwart Felipe Contepomi took over the reins. And what a stroke of genius that has turned out to be. The former international has been able to get the very best out of his players, and in particular, Pablo Matera. Now playing his domestic rugby in Japan for the Honda Heat alongside Springbok Franco Mostert, Matera has had a 2024 season to write home about. As mentioned in the beginning of the video, he capped it off by being named in the World Rugby Dream Team of the Year, the second time he's been selected for the side in 3 years. But why was he selected, you may ask? Well, simply put, he has been in outstanding form this year, as has his national side. Thanks largely to his performances, Argentina beat all 3 of their Rugby Championship rivals for the first time in one championship cycle. A memorable win for Los Pumas in Wellington was backed up by a record-setting, ruthless demolition of the Wallabies in Argentina, and lastly, a close encounter victory over the Springboks to put the cherry on the cake. Matera more than chipped in and even added a few tries to his international tally along the way. 2024 proved to be a landmark year for the Argentinian icon and his teammates, and we await to see what the new year will bring as they build forward to the 2027 World Cup. Do you think they can win the tournament? Let us know down below. Few in world rugby carry with them the aura of Pablo Matera, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. The next in a long line of great Argentinian loose forwards, Matera might well be the best of the lot, and one of Argentina's all-time greats, despite only being 31 years of age. With several years left at the top level of international rugby, we can't wait to see what he achieves next. As always, thanks for watching. We hope you've enjoyed our take on Pablo Matera, and be sure to let us know what you think of the man from Buenos Aires. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye out for much more rugby content to come. Until next time, bye for now.